Do you feel that your legs have lost strength after 50 and simple tasks like climbing stairs or getting up from a chair have become more difficult? As we age, we progressively lose muscle mass, especially in the lower body. This decrease directly impacts leg strength, balance, and overall stability, making everyday activities increasingly difficult. The most concerning thing is that this muscle loss occurs even in active people and usually progresses silently, without giving obvious signs at first. Over time, it manifests through discomfort, constant fatigue, or a greater tendency to fall, directly affecting mobility and safety when moving. This progressive deterioration compromises not only physical strength but also independence and quality of life in adulthood, limiting the freedom to perform daily activities with confidence and autonomy. But here you have a practical, simple, and scientifically proven solution: 6 gentle and effective isometric exercises, specially designed for older adults. These exercises require no equipment, no gym, and no prior experience, and you can do them at home in just 10 minutes a day. They have been recommended by physical therapists in Japan and Europe for their ability to strengthen muscles without harming the joints. So let's get started. Isometric exercises are a highly effective and safe form of training that consists of holding a fixed position for a certain period, activating muscle groups without moving the joints. Unlike dynamic exercises that involve repeated movements, isometric exercises generate constant muscle tension, which stimulates growth and endurance without putting excessive pressure on the joints. This makes them an ideal option for older adults, people with arthritis, or those who suffer from chronic joint pain. According to a study published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research, regular practice of isometric exercises can increase muscle strength by up to 20% in just 6 weeks, even in elderly individuals. In addition, since they require no equipment or complex movements, they are accessible to everyone and can be done at home. This type of training has also been shown to improve joint stability, posture, and neuromuscular control, significantly reducing the risk of falls and injuries. In older adults, where the loss of muscle mass can compromise independence, isometric exercises offer a powerful tool to maintain functional strength, protect the joints, and regain confidence when moving. Exercise 1. Isometric squat. The isometric squat is one of the most complete and accessible exercises to strengthen the lower body, especially in older adults. Unlike traditional squats that involve repetitive movement, the isometric version is based on holding a static position, similar to sitting on an invisible chair, for a set period. This type of sustained muscle contraction generates high activation in the main muscles of the legs: quadriceps, glutes, hamstrings, and core muscles. The interesting part is that, since it does not require dynamic movement, this exercise minimizes impact on the joints, making it a safe and effective tool for people with knee, hip, or lower back problems. Studies published in the European Journal of Applied Physiology have shown that regularly performed isometric squats can increase lower body strength by up to 15% in just 4 weeks in older adults, without any kind of joint overload. This strength gain not only improves the ability to perform daily activities such as climbing stairs, getting up from a chair, or carrying objects, but also contributes to greater postural stability, significantly reducing the risk of falls, one of the leading causes of serious injuries in people over 60. From a physiological perspective, the isometric squat simultaneously activates multiple motor units, which favors localized muscle hypertrophy and neuromuscular conditioning. By holding the static position, the muscle works in a state of constant tension, generating adaptations that strengthen slow-twitch, type 1, muscle fibers and improve muscular endurance. In addition, keeping the posture with a straight back and contracted abdomen engages the stabilizing muscles of the trunk, which translates into additional benefits for spinal health and overall body posture. Various studies, such as those conducted by the Journal of Sports Sciences, indicate that controlled isometric activation also stimulates local blood circulation, improving flow to the joints and soft tissues, which can relieve chronic pain, reduce morning stiffness, and promote recovery in people with arthritis or mild osteoarthritis. Accessibility is another advantage. This exercise can be done at home, with no equipment, in just 1 or 2 minutes per set, making it an ideal training strategy for those who do not have access to gyms or prefer practical routines from home. For all these reasons, the isometric squat is not just another exercise, but a powerful tool to preserve functionality, prolong autonomy, and even reverse part of the muscle deterioration associated with aging. Exercise 2. Isometric lunge. The isometric lunge is a fundamental exercise within functional training for older adults due to its ability to deeply strengthen the lower body without requiring complex movements or subjecting the joints to unnecessary impact. By adopting a fixed posture with one leg forward and the other back, sustained muscle contraction is maintained in the quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, and stabilizing muscles of the hip and core. This simultaneous activation improves postural control, balance, and muscular endurance, three essential pillars for maintaining autonomy and preventing falls in older adults. Unlike dynamic lunges, which can be demanding or destabilizing for those with knee problems or lack of strength, the isometric version allows the muscles to be worked intensively yet safely, with full control over the depth and duration of the effort. In addition, its unilateral nature, meaning it strengthens each leg separately, is especially useful for correcting muscle imbalances common in sedentary people or those with a history of injuries. Studies from the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy have shown that isometric contractions held for 20 to 30 seconds, applied regularly, can significantly improve functional strength and static balance in older adults, increasing safety when walking and stability when facing uneven surfaces. From a physiological perspective, this exercise allows for efficient recruitment of slow-twitch, type 1, muscle fibers, which are key to maintaining muscular endurance and postural control during prolonged activities. These fibers, which tend to atrophy with age, a phenomenon known as sarcopenia, can be kept active through specific training such as isometric lunges, without the need for machines or gyms. In addition, by holding the posture, a greater neuromuscular connection is stimulated, enhancing the nervous system's response to situations of imbalance or changes of direction when walking. Sustained contraction also improves blood circulation in the targeted area, helping reduce joint stiffness, relieve lower back discomfort, and promote better muscle recovery. For those with arthritis, joint limitations, or who are simply starting a physical activity program, the isometric lunge represents an accessible, adaptable, and low-risk alternative. It can be performed with the support of a wall or chair, starting with 15 seconds per leg and gradually increasing as endurance improves. Incorporated into a daily routine of just 10 minutes, along with other isometric exercises, this practice can produce visible changes in posture, stability, strength, and, most importantly, the confidence with which everyday tasks are faced. Exercise 3. Standing leg raise. The standing leg raise is a low-impact yet highly functional isometric exercise for older adults. It consists of lifting one leg to the side while keeping the torso upright, intensely activating the hip abductor muscles, especially the gluteus medius, as well as the stabilizers of the core and the supporting leg. These muscle groups are essential for lateral stability, pelvic mobility, and postural control, especially during activities such as walking, climbing stairs, or maintaining balance on uneven surfaces. As we age, there is a progressive loss of strength and muscle mass, known as sarcopenia, which critically affects the muscles of the hips and lower limbs. This weakening, together with decreased neuromuscular control, increases the risk of falls, one of the leading causes of fractures, hospitalizations, and loss of independence in older adults. The standing leg raise, by focusing on the lateral and stabilizing musculature, offers an effective and safe strategy to counteract this deterioration, even in people with limited mobility or mild joint conditions. From a scientific perspective, numerous studies have validated the effectiveness of this type of exercise in preventing falls and improving dynamic balance. A study published in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy found that strengthening the gluteus medius and hip abductors improves lateral postural control and significantly reduces instability episodes in people over 65. In addition, strengthening the abductors directly contributes to proper pelvic alignment, which reduces overload on the lumbar spine and knees, areas commonly affected by aging and sedentary lifestyles. Another study from the Journal of Orthopedic and Sports Physical Therapy showed that older adults who included lateral leg raises in their daily routine experienced a 20% improvement in single leg stability and up to a 40% reduction in functional imbalances after 6 weeks of training. Unlike more aggressive dynamic exercises, the isometric version of this raise allows for deep muscle activation without joint movement, avoiding impact on the hips, knees, and ankles. This characteristic makes it an especially valuable tool for people with osteoarthritis, previous injuries, or generalized muscle weakness. Exercise 4. Side plank with leg raise. The side plank with leg raise is an advanced isometric exercise that combines stability, strength, and neuromuscular control, being especially beneficial for older adults who want to maintain or regain physical functionality without subjecting their joints to unnecessary impact. This variation of the traditional plank involves keeping the body aligned on its side, supported on one forearm or the hand, depending on the fitness level, while raising and holding the top leg in the air for several seconds. This movement intensely activates the gluteus medius, oblique abdominal muscles, quadratus lumborum, transverse abdominis, as well as the stabilizing muscles of the hip and shoulder. It is therefore one of the most complete exercises that can be performed with body weight alone and without the need for equipment. In the context of aging, where loss of strength and postural control can lead to falls, lower back pain, or gait instability, this plank proves to be a functional and therapeutic tool of great value. Its regular practice not only strengthens the core but also improves pelvic alignment, muscular symmetry between the sides of the body, and stabilization capacity during daily movements such as turning, walking, or getting up from a chair. From a scientific standpoint, multiple studies support the effectiveness of the side plank with leg raise as a preventive and restorative exercise. A study published in the Journal of Orthopedics showed that this variation produces greater activation of the gluteus medius than many traditional exercises, such as lateral walking with a resistance band or the glute bridge. The gluteus medius is a crucial muscle for hip stability and fall prevention, as it controls the body's lateral movements and keeps the pelvis aligned during walking. Its weakness has been linked to common conditions in older adults, such as knee osteoarthritis, chronic low back pain, and sacroiliac joint dysfunction. In addition, the side plank with leg raise has also been recognized in studies from the Journal of Strength for its ability to evenly activate the core muscles without placing compression on the lumbar spine, making it especially recommended for people with a history of back pain or intervertebral disc problems. This sustained, unilateral isometric contraction improves neuromuscular stabilization capacity and promotes adaptations in type I, slow-twitch, muscle fibers, which are responsible for maintaining posture and balance over prolonged periods. Exercise 5. Isometric glute bridge. The isometric glute bridge is a fundamental exercise within functional training for older adults, as it safely and effectively strengthens the gluteal muscles, hamstrings, core, and lower back without creating joint impact. This isometric variation consists of lifting the pelvis from a floor position with the knees bent and feet supported, then holding the static posture for a set time. Through this sustained contraction, the posterior chain muscles are intensely activated, essential for functions such as walking, climbing stairs, getting up from a chair, or standing for long periods. As we age, the weakening of the glutes and hip musculature contributes to a series of dysfunctions that affect quality of life, such as chronic low back pain, postural misalignment, loss of balance, and increased risk of falls. According to a study published in the Journal of Physical Therapy Science in 2016, glute bridge exercises significantly improve core strength and pelvic stability in older adults, reducing low back pain by up to 25% after just 4 weeks of regular practice. This exercise also has a key biomechanical advantage, since it is performed in a supine position, lying face up. Axial load on the spine is eliminated, allowing the deep muscles to be strengthened without causing compression in the intervertebral discs. This is why the isometric glute bridge is frequently used in physical rehabilitation programs and fall prevention for geriatric patients, as well as in postoperative recovery protocols for the hip or spine. Its isometric nature allows for maintaining constant muscle contraction without movement, which improves endurance, neuromuscular connection, and recruitment of type I muscle fibers, those responsible for postural control and sustained endurance. In addition, activation of the transverse abdominis and paravertebral muscles in this posture improves trunk control and overall body stability, which is crucial in older adults, especially those with sarcopenia, progressive loss of muscle mass related to age. Research published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity showed that older adults who incorporated exercises such as the glute bridge 3 times a week for 8 weeks achieved significant improvements in their ability to stand, walk without support, and get up from the floor without assistance. Performing a complete round of the 6 isometric exercises, such as the glute bridge, isometric lunge, wall sit, lateral leg raise, side plank with leg raise, and static hamstring curl, in a circuit format, with short breaks of 15 to 30 seconds between each one, constitutes a highly effective strategy to improve functional strength, balance, and overall mobility in older adults. This circuit-based approach has multiple physiological advantages. By activating different muscle groups in succession, it promotes constant blood flow and stimulates the cardiovascular and neuromuscular systems without exhausting or overloading any joint. According to a study published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity, 2019, isometric circuit training performed for just 10 minutes a day generated significant improvements in lower limb strength, dynamic balance, and reaction time in older adults aged 60 to 75, all without relying on external loads or expensive equipment. Furthermore, doing the circuit while engaging in a daily activity, such as watching television, listening to music, or waiting for the coffee to boil, allows exercise to be integrated naturally into the daily routine, reducing the psychological resistance many people feel when starting to work out. The key to success with this type of training is consistency. Practicing it 4 to 5 days a week is enough to start seeing tangible improvements in less than a month. These improvements not only translate into stronger muscles but also into safer, more functional movements, getting up from a chair effortlessly, climbing stairs without support, walking with a more upright posture, or regaining balance after an unexpected stumble. In fact, the European Scientific Journal of Movement and Activity has documented that adherence to a regular isometric training protocol can reduce the risk of falls in older adults by up to 35%, as well as improve performance in activities of daily living, ADLs. This program is not designed for athletes or those seeking extreme performance. It is made for real life, for those who want to play with their grandchildren without fear of losing balance, walk more confidently on uneven surfaces, or simply feel safer when moving. Moreover, since it is adaptable to any fitness level, it can also be useful for younger people or those in rehabilitation who want to strengthen their legs and stability without compromising their joints. Therefore, this isometric exercise circuit is not only simple, accessible, and efficient but also transformative, as it offers a practical and science-backed tool to improve quality of life at any age. If you found this content useful, give it a like, share it with someone who needs it, and tell us in the comments how you did with the exercises. Don't forget to subscribe to receive more practical tips on health, mobility, and simple exercises that will help you stay strong, active, and full of energy after 50. Your body and your health will thank you. Thank you for watching this video, and see you soon.